Hi guys, today's project is wood kits that I've mixed together. These came from Monique at Grace and Tattered Lace, and there's actually three different kits that I've kind of combined to make this one. There is one called the Sunflower Breadboard. The pumpkin is actually Squatty Thankful Pumpkin. And then Wonky Tall Fall Pumpkin is where I got the crow. So I started off by painting the pumpkin Terracotta by Dixie Belle, and then I added a little bit of my Waverly Truffle because I wanted this to be just a little bit darker. The terracotta wasn't quite dark enough for this project. So I gave that a quick coat, did my edges. And now after I got that dried, actually I changed my mind, and before I dried it, I took some ground cinnamon and sprinkled on top of the pumpkin while my paint was wet. Then I dried that, and I'm going to take some of the Waverly paint, I believe it's called Pumpkin, it's an orange color, and I'm going to dry brush that color on. After I got it good and dried. The cinnamon just gives it an extra texture and a little bit more interest is why I used it. And your project smells really good. So here I'm just dry brushing that orange paint color on. Just in random areas. I did add a little bit of extra paint to my brush. I'm just kind of dabbing it on and brushing it so that I don't get full coverage. And after I got that dried, I went in on the stem and added some Waverly moss and a little bit of the Waverly truffle. And now I'm going to be painting my crow Waverly ink. This is a good way to, if you have more than one wood kit sitting around and you're not sure what to do with it, it's kind of fun to mix and match different pieces with them. Get a little bit different look and more creative. So now that I've got my crow painted, I'm going to dry it real quick. And I'm going to take my gator sander and I'm going to go around the entire wing and the bird to give it more of a distressed look. I will post my link to Monique's website so you can check out all of her fun kits. She's got a lot of Christmas, fall, and everyday kits as well. Now I'm going to take this little crow with some stick fast and hot glue. I'm going to glue on his wing first, and then I'm going to glue him to the top of my pumpkin. Excuse me. You can use this cutout for a wall hanger, a shelf sitter, or you can actually add it to a project, which I'm probably going to do. Here I'm taking this little sunflower and I'm painting it in the color Mustard by Mineral Fusion. And just a second ago you saw me pull out a little stencil. The stencils are from essential stencil, and there's, I believe, 20 words that are all fall related that are 1 inch in diameter. So those are currently for sale as well. After I got my sunflower painted, that mustard color, I give it a quick dry. And now I'm going to be doing the stem and leaves in that green moss color by Waverly. Making sure I'm getting those edges. Sometimes those edges are a little hard to get covered because they're darker from the cutout. And I'm going to take the centerpiece and I'm painting it Waverly Truffle. I thought about this after the fact, but I think it'd be kind of cool to add a little bit of cinnamon to that middle too, just to give it a variation of colors and texture. Now I'm taking a stenciling brush with a little bit of antiquing wax and just going around the edges of my sunflower and the leaves. I did glue on the middle part. And I will glue this piece onto my pumpkin with that stick fast glue and a little bit of hot glue just to adhere it quickly. And I'm going to take this little stencil with the word autumn. I was going to tape it down, but decided I would just hold it instead. Now the trick to stenciling is to make sure that you offload your paint real well before you go in onto your stencil to avoid that bleeding. So dip it in your paint, offload it, and then go over your stencil. And I'm going to dry that real good, and I did end up going back in and filling in the bridges, which there weren't too many on this particular wording. Now I'm taking a little bit of raffia and I'm putting it in my bow dabra. We're going to create a little raffia bow. I have a love-hate relationship with this raffia. It makes such a mess. But I love how it looks. Now I'm going to go ahead and glue that kind of to the edge of my stem. And we got to give it a haircut here. I'm just playing with some different colored leaves to see which ones I wanted to use on this. And I decided this one was a good fit. So I glued a couple of leaves underneath my bow. Now I'm going to take a couple little sunflowers and glue in the middle. And I have some greenery that I'm also adding. This greenery that I have is called the berry bush. It is discontinued from Hobby Lobby, but I still have a lot of it left and I love to craft with it. And most of the items that I'm using in my bow are actually from picks that I picked up at Hobby Lobby, as well as the leaves. So I'm just taking some other pieces off of some picks and adding those into my bow. With different colors and textures. And then I decided that it might need a little bit of color, so I pulled out these burgundy colored leaves, but went with the burgundy berries instead that I had in my little stash. And I just kept adding. I decided it needed another leaf. You can just keep adding until you're happy with the way it looks. I tend to go overboard sometimes with my embellishments. And once I got that all finished, I took some antiquing wax and I went around the edge of the pumpkin just to give it a little bit more distressed look. And this is the finished product. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.